Hello, everyone. This is Maria Serbina, and I'm here in my broadcast with my mentor and my friend, Irina Baker, who is an awareness mentor, web TV host, a number one Amazon best-selling co-author, and an author of several books, with the latest book, Don't Play the Mirror for Your Ugly Face. The world you see is a reflection of you. Hello, Irina.
Hi, Maria.
I have a couple of questions for you. And my first question, what is really differentiates you from other mentors?
Well, good question. It's usually people say the hardest to answer, but I think I know what it is because there are several moments. And the first one is there are if you look at the picture of people, some people live in a physical world. They're usually very much in the physical. They don't think about spiritual matters. They make money. They are in business. Usually, a lot of these people make a lot of money. But if you start asking them, are you satisfied? Do you have meaning in your life? Some of them will say no, they're really not satisfied. They make money. They have made a lot of money, but something is missing in their life. Something is that not there, and they don't know where to get it. So they live so-called on a physical plane, and they're not concerned with the spiritual matters. And there are other people on the other side who are really mastered. Maybe we could say they mastered the spiritual realm. They read metaphysical books. They call themselves spiritual people. They really know a lot of, they could talk about chakras and higher self and soul, and it's easy to talk to them about spirituality. And yet when you talk to these people, and also they will say money is very spiritual and we need to have a wealthy consciousness, so they will talk about wealthy consciousness in terms of money. However, a lot of people, they consider themselves broke. They even though they in the spiritual realm, even though they believe that money is spiritual, but somehow money escapes them and they don't have a lot of money. So some people teach only physical behaviors such as physical business steps, marketing, and we know you teach marketing as well. So it's very important. We need people like you. We need people who really deal with the spiritual, with the physical matter, with the special, with the steps to take on earth. How And we also need spiritual people who believe in spirituality and know about it. However, those people will talk about energy teachings, energy healing, beliefs, and so forth, but not many people, or at least I don't know those people who would combine both. Because the true success, even Napoleon Hill, long time ago, in his Bible, we call it Bible, right? Think and Grow Rich, business Bible, at least, he even said that only those who both they take physical steps and they consult the infinite intelligence, those people, they are truly successful and they amass big wealth. And so what I do is connect physical and spiritual together. We cannot separate them. We cannot think about just taking physical steps, marketing and business, or just fly up there high in the sky and talk about God and spiritual matters. But we have to combine together. So that's the one thing. And the second point I believe is important, that through my 20 years of personal and personal spiritual growth, I came up with, perhaps downloaded, we could say, and perfected my own system. So I have steps, I have system how I help people to do both, accept physical and accept spiritual, and then marry them together. And the last point, how I believe I'm different from others. For example, it's my education. For example, I know a person personally who took a 10-day certification course in some holistic modality, and he opened two offices in at some state. I won't even name it. And he considers himself a professional, and I guess he has clients. So I don't believe in this such. I wouldn't be able to call myself an expert if I have done it. So I have all of it together. I have education. As you know, I have 3 master's degrees, including master's in counseling. I'm extensively trained in hypnosis and spiritual studies. So I combine both traditional education, psychology, and also holistic spiritual education. In addition to that, I have 20 years behind my back of personal growth. This is how my journey started. Education was there, but at the same time, that was my goal, to grow personally, grow physically, grow spiritually, grow in all respect. And that's what I've done for the last 20 years. Back to you.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. And again, like I said a few minutes ago, I'm one of your high-end clients. So I'm living proof in front of you, all of you guys who are watching right now. I'm living proof. So if you have any questions, you can call me and say, you know what, tell me more. This is just side note. Irina, tell me
Thank you.
who you normally or usually work with.
Well, the main thing is I work with spiritually aware entrepreneurs or professionals. And usually what they tell me is, first of all, they feel something is missing in their life. Like I said, they're already in business or they already have a career, but something is missing. They can't pinpoint it, but they know they need or they're capable of bigger or something bigger. So usually it's the soul calling, and we might talk about it more, but the soul calling that is absolutely necessary to feel satisfied. So these people don't feel satisfied inside. Usually it's in the chest. They feel something is missing. And also they could be stuck in any area, because it's not only business. I do have a lot of people who have their own business, and their business really improves and doubles and so forth. But it's not only business. It could be any area of your life, because when we deal with spiritual approach to physical and spiritual together, everything changes, not just one. So they could come with any area where they're stuck, and they know that they cannot solve the problem but physical actions alone. As you perfectly know, many, maybe all, of course I can't say 100%, but many high-end mentors who are business mentors, they all have spiritual mentors as well. People who are in business, they have spiritual mentors, because you cannot just grow your business without taking care of your mindset and taking care of your spiritual side. And so these people want clarity: who I am, what I'm here to do, why I'm here on earth. Perhaps these are broad questions, but if you start thinking about it, people want to know, because it does help them in business, in the relationship, in health, and in wealth.
Wonderful. Another question. What is your opinion is the key to deeply satisfying life?
I do believe, from my personal experience, from my professional experience of working with numerous clients, I found out that the key is to discover your soul calling. And by soul calling, I mean, some people call it life purpose, some people call it your blessing. It could be your soul mission. Either name, it doesn't matter. I call it soul contract of self expression, because the soul comes here to earth to express itself through the physical body with the help of the ego. And so this is the main key. If you are not fulfilling your highest potential, and this is what highest potential is, it's finding you what you're here to do, who you are, and what your legacy is supposed to be. what you hear, what your soul designed for you to experience, to accomplish, to complete in this lifetime. And that will give you the greatest satisfaction, because it will be on the level of the soul. It will be a soul satisfaction. And so one of my clients recently told me in a journaling, when we do that, she said, I want clarity. I want to clear out my old thoughts and beliefs. I want a better life. I want to reach my potential. So a lot of people, and especially I have a tremendous respect for entrepreneurs, because they really on a mission. They have to make it. They have to grow their business. It's not easy. And so many of them, I would say a lot of them, want to grow their, to go after their highest potential. They want to grow their potential.
Listen, now I have kind of tricky question for you. We hear all the time, do what you like to do and money will follow. Very, very famous phrase, right? Lots of mentors say it, just do it and then magically money will appear. What is your opinion? Is it true or false from spiritual perspective?
Ha ha, that's an interesting question you're asking. Very interesting. Because you would think, okay, yes, it's true, because do what you love. You have to do what you love and money will follow. And yet, on the other side, how many people we personally know or heard of, when they do what they love and they just don't have the means to support themselves? We all heard of poor artist or poor musician or poor author or whatever profession. There are even cliches saying it. They do what they love, they express themselves, but they don't have the money. So what's up with that? So I will say the answer to your question is, it is true, but there is a catch. And the catch is, on the one side of your deeply satisfying life lies your blessing. You have to do what you love to do, because your soul wants you to have joy, to be fulfilled in your life. But on the other side, there is the ego, there is the physical part of life. And if you're not present in your body, so I call it, if nobody is home to receive the money that is there for you, then who it is to blame, right? And so money follows, money is there, but if you have no self value inside, because when we talk in terms of money, what do we say? How much are you worth? He's worth $2 million, right? They say, it's even in the language. People don't even think about it. They say he's worth whatever. And if we have a lot of debts, then we are worthless, so to speak, because it's minus assets. So why is that? Even language shows that this is a very important part. We have to have our internal self-value up and be able to receive the money. We have to be home to receive the money that followed from our blessing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Listen, I know you have a great system. If you can give me in a couple of words and tell me about your system, because it's so great. Like I said, I will probably brag through whole broadcast that I'm your client and I experience your system and I'm absolutely blessed to use it in my business.
I would say, of course, we don't have much time right now, right? And we could talk forever about it, and we do. But I call it a formula. I came up with my own formula, and in a nutshell, the formula reads: the soul calling or soul contract of self-expression plus internal self-value, high self-value, equals true prosperity and deep soul satisfaction. And again, so we are taking one coin and we look at both sides. One side is the spiritual, the soul satisfaction, what you're here to do. So that's your soul calling, your blessing in life, what you here, what you were born to do, what's your legacy. and the second side, what your self-value is. So you cannot just do one or the other, because if, like I said before, I gave you an example, those people who make tons of money, their ego is happy, it's making a lot of money, but ego is never satisfied. And it's shocking maybe for some. Ego is never satisfied because the ego is mental. Ego makes money, it's mental, it's head, it's our head. And the physical, the heart is the soul, and the soul gives us satisfaction. And that's what we need, all of us, for deeply satisfying life. We need both our blessing, our legacy, and make money, be comfortable. Living in luxury is a good thing. It's nothing bad, nothing how people say, oh, I don't need it. Well, why not?
Hmm. So this is what you really help people to get or find, because get and find, both of them.
Exactly, exactly. And there are specific steps, like I said, you have to discover or confirm, if you already had, your soul calling. That's one of the first steps. And guess what? Sometimes I have an example. One client believed that her long-term dream was to travel the world. But after working together, we found out it was actually the dream to escape the world. Her soul calling is to be in the world, to be a leader, to lead people, to be visible, to inspire, motivate, give guidance. But instead she was dreaming about escaping the world because it was convenient and because the ego wanted to stay invisible. So what you think your dream is, it could be your self-defense mechanism of coping here, being here physically present on earth, and not accepting your physical body. Here comes the self-value. So that was the second step, the first step. The second one is increasing self-value, because without that there is nothing you can do. The world is, all what you see is the reflection of you. So everything you see in the world, everything that is in your reality, is a reflection of your internal self value. And that's pretty big. So without being confident and without giving yourself high self value, you will not achieve anything. And so then we connect. After we've accepted the soul, after we've accepted the ego, we marry them together. The ego and the soul get married, and that's how a co-creator is born. Maybe people are afraid of this word, but co-creator means the soul is expressing its joy and its creativity, and through the ego. And the ego is the personality, the physicality, the physical persona. So the ego is taking physical steps, growing the business, serving people, and soul has fun. Ego is working, the soul is having fun. How about that?
Awesome. And my last question, what is the first physical step our viewers and our listeners have to take to work with you?
Thank you for asking these questions. I didn't expect it, but that's the most important thing, because some people come to me and they say, oh, I have no motivation. How can I get out of myself, out of my way? Well, and I tell you, how about that? If I offered you a month on Bahamas, all expenses paid, do you think, and I would say you got 3 hours to pack your bags and get to the airport, do you think you will get motivation to pack your bag very fast and get to the airport? I bet you would come to the airport an hour earlier, right? Because
Maybe
it's
two
great.
hours.
It's fun, you're expecting it, suddenly you're fully motivated. So this is how you do, it's your choice. Everything in life is about choices. And a lot of times, and I've been one of the biggest queens of that, oh, I need to wait until I clear something, oh, I need to wait until I release some beliefs and some, I will fly somewhere. I've been very, how you name us people, spiritual people, flying Dutchman, right? But I also I accept that I've been there. But I also know, in fact, with my story, with my history, I've been just physical without even knowing about God. That was Russia, and at some point I would tell my story, but not right now. So in Russia, I was physical. In America, I turned into Flying Dutchman, very spiritual, and now I put it all together, and that's how my unique system was born. So back to people, you have to make a decision, and you have to have a burning desire. If you have it, this is the first step. Because once you decide, I am sick of it, I am sick of my life, I want to go after my highest potential. I was at a training, at a life event, physical life event, I mean, business training life event. And a person, a young man, got to the microphone and he said, lately I was in a dark place because I used to think that all I needed was more clients and more money. That's what I was focused on. And now I understand that I need to go after my greatness. And by greatness, by all means, he meant going after your highest potential, going after the blessing, what your blessing is, the soul calling. And so what did he need to move to his highest potential? Of course, it won't happen overnight. That's why you guys need me to help you, right? But first step is make a choice to have it, to make it happen, making choice of your direction, and the road will be shown to you. The right mentor will appear, the right conditions will appear, and the wrong people, quote unquote, will disappear from your life gradually.
Listen, it's so profound, really profound. And first step, guys, you have to make a decision and make a commitment. Irina, thank you so much for being here with me, giving us such great content, teaching us really about spirituality and business together. And for our viewers, if you want to check Irina's website, I highly recommend it to do it. You go to irinabaker.com and you will see the website below this broadcast. It will be on YouTube channel, and you will have an opportunity to actually work with Irina a little bit further. So thank you so much for being here with me, with our listeners, viewers, whoever, our audience, and I will see you on my other broadcasts.
Thank you, Maria. They were wonderful questions. I appreciate you having me here. Bye.
Bye.